When you set out to build the next big PvP card game with a 30-person team, you imagine glory, success, maybe even some epic loot boxes. But what you don't imagine is failure. And yet, that's exactly what happened. We called it Project P, a fast-paced, turn-based, card-driven pirate battler inspired by Clash Royale and Stormbound. It was bold, it was ambitious, and it didn't work. Today, we're going to break down exactly why it didn't and what we learned along the way. This is why we failed at making a PvP card game. The vision was clear, a mobile game that mixed casual strategy with the thrill of PvP. Players would command pirate ships, fire cannonballs using a drag and release mechanic, and use powerful cards to outwit their opponents. The twist? Each card was tied to one of three categories: spells, cannons, and crew members. And every arena had environmental hazards, krakens, volcanoes, you name it. It sounded awesome on paper. We even had a full GDD, over 80 pages, detailing everything from card mechanics to soft launch plans in Brazil and Indonesia. But just because something looks good on paper doesn't mean it plays well. One of our first major missteps was mechanical overload. We layered skill shots, unit movement, spellcasting, and card synergies, all on a hex-based grid. Sounds deep, right? It was. But it also meant the game was constantly pulling player in different directions. Should I move my ship, play a spell, defend against the Kraken, or line up a trick shot? Instead of building strategic clarity, we built chaos. And in a PvP game where clarity is key, this was a massive problem. We thought we were giving players more freedom. In reality, we gave them decision paralysis. The core loop, the heartbeat of any good PvP game, never solidified. We had progression systems, trophies, card upgrades, loot boxes, even a betting mechanic where players stake in-game currency to enter ranked matches. But the moment-to-moment gameplay never felt rewarding. Worse, our progression was disconnected from mastery. You could win a match because of a lucky card draw, not because you played well. And if you lost, you didn't feel like you learned anything. You just lost. That's not just bad UX, it's bad game feel. And in PvP, feel is everything. Here's a brutal lesson. Never build 50+ cards before your game actually works. We had pirates with AoE spells, crew that walked across tiles, ships with unique stats, and captains that altered the rules of play. But none of it mattered, because we hadn't nailed the fundamentals. We tried to balance a game that wasn't stable. We spent months tweaking numbers on cards that players didn't enjoy using in the first place. What we needed wasn't more content, it was fewer systems tuned to perfection. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room: team size. With 30 people, you'd think we had every base covered. But in truth, we lacked a unified vision. Different designers had different ideas of what Project P was. Some wanted the tactical battler, others a quick-fire casual game. And because we didn't have a mechanics-first prototype, we couldn't test any of it early. By the time we realized we were building 3 different games under one title, it was too late. Without alignment, the design suffered. Without alignment, no one knew what to cut. And without cuts, the game became bloated and confused. So, what did we learn? First, prototype fast and brutally. Don't build lore, monetization, or card art until your core loop is fun. Second, limit scope. We thought multiple arenas and 50+ cards would add depth. They added noise. Third, player clarity is more important than depth. You can always add complexity later, but if players don't know what's happening, you've already lost them. And finally, design is about saying no. A good designer doesn't add everything. They cut everything that isn't essential. Project P didn't fail because we didn't work hard. It failed because we didn't test smart. If you're building your own PvP card game, learn from our mistakes. Keep your loop tight, your mechanics clear, and your team aligned. We didn't win the battle, but we leveled up. Thanks for watching RookieDev. I'm Rook, and I'll see you in the next one.